Welcome to the Heart of a Writer. I'm Vanessa Walters, the author of 4 novels, which you can look up, and a 5th novel coming out in 2026. And I want you to finish your writing projects. I want you to feel good about the journey. I want to help you achieve your desired outcomes. Now, there are great things to be said about writing courses and craft books. Of course, I have taken courses and read craft books. There's a lot to be said for reading all of the greats and studying and close reading. But a lot of people don't finish and don't get the outcomes they want, not because they are not smart, but because of something else. I speak to the heart of a writer. I speak from my perspective about all the things I see really smart people lacking in this process. I'm looking at the questions people are not asking. Please subscribe if you want to be part of this journey, community, and conversation. Today, we are talking about the inner conversation. What is the inner conversation? I teach weekly free writing workshops, totally free of charge, every Tuesday. Send me a DM if you want to attend those. We write for 5 minutes in silence to the same blind prompt. Then we discuss what we've written. I literally find the prompt by flipping to a page number and then a line number someone shouts out. And whatever is on that line is the prompt. It could literally be something like, and then he. And then he what? Well, you go from there. You write whatever is in your heart. You let your subconscious or your inner voice speak. You have 2 voices. A conscious voice, that's the one that is aware, and the subconscious one that you are not aware of. In this exercise, we try as much as possible to allow the subconscious voice to speak. How do we do that? By writing fast and furiously for 5 minutes, not erasing, not prejudging, but allowing the words to flow. And at the end of 5 minutes, we share our work and discuss our interpretations of what we've all written. If you want to know more about free writing, let me know in the comments and I'll do a separate video on that. But my point is that through this weekly practice, we come to understand and recognize our inner conversation. These are the themes that seem to come up for each of us each time. It can be grief, it can be loneliness, it can be specific questions about identity and belonging or self-worth. It can be questions about humanity, what it means to be human. It can be about death or outer space. But you have no control over your inner conversation. You can run, but you can't hide from it. When writers say they don't know what to write about or ask, how do you know when you have a story that is worth writing a novel about? It just means they don't know their inner conversation. Currently, I know a lot of my inner conversation is about motherhood and marriage breakdown. Go figure. It's about what happens when you've spent half your life raising children and you think you've screwed that up completely. Or it's about fading beauty as a woman in a patriarchal society or impending mortality. It's about a lot of things, but always the same things. You can find all of the things I write about manifesting in my novel, The Lagos Wife. It's going to be in my next novel too. My inner conversation hasn't changed much in the last few years. And it can be the same conversation your whole life. Virginia Woolf wrote about women's rights, mental health, and the politics of power in pretty much every book she wrote. Toni Morrison wrote about Black Americans, the struggles, the search for self-worth. She grew up in a time and place of extreme racial prejudice. She grew up in danger. Her family had to flee the South because she and her sister were threatened with rape. And that conversation marks all of her work, although it absolutely evolves into other areas. You have no control over your inner conversation the moment you put pen to paper. This is why I say the artist is the person. If you don't like your inner conversation, if it isn't important enough, if it doesn't interest you or inspire you, then I would advise you to change your life, raise the stakes for yourself, embrace discomfort, go and explore the lives of the oppressed and the unhappy. Many of our greatest writers either suffer depression or witnessed it. It is all around us. But back to the inner conversation. What is your inner conversation? Let me know in the comments.